Hello everyone, and this weekend I'm doing a reading retreat. I am up at my cabin. It's very cozy and I'm unplugging and getting away from all my devices and electronics and just reading. And we've got a lot of reading plans, so I better film this intro quick and get to it because I want to finish 3 books this weekend, and that's a tall ask. First being Malice, which is like 650 pages. This is an epic fantasy, multi-POV story. I'm trying to determine if John Gwynne is a new favorite author because I love The Shadow of the Gods and The Hunger of the Gods by him. This is his first work and I'm loving it so far. I'm about 20% in. There are a lot of characters, but I'm enjoying it. Then I also want to read One for My Enemy by Olive E. Blake, which is not vampires, but a rival witch coven Romeo and Juliet retelling. I'm super excited about this. And I've enjoyed this author quite a bit in the past, so another one of their works. And I also have Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairy, which is a cozy fantasy romance, which is only like 300 pages. So hopefully I can squeeze that one in. Good morning, everyone. I thought I'd do a reading check-in this morning and while I work on this cute puzzle. It's gonna look like this in the end. Very cute with the cats and the flowers. Last night I was able to read 50% of Malice by John Gwynne, and let me actually tell you what this book is about because it's kind of hard to explain. There's a lot going on. There are so many characters, but what I will tell you is this is a very classic fantasy in that there's a prophecy of a war coming, and we seem to have, you know, 2 chosen ones, one for the darkness and one for the light, and we're trying to figure out who's going to be the champion of the darkness and who's going to be the champion of the light. And we are seemingly following a young boy named Corbin, who seems to be like kind of the main character. He gets a lot of page time and he gets a lot of the point of view chapters. So we're primarily following Corbin. He's 14, he's training, he's learning how to be a fighter. He's the blacksmith's son. He's dealing with a bully and he's learning how to fight and having adventures with his sister. And so he seems to be a chosen one. Whether he is for the good or the evil, it remains to be seen. We are also following another character named Veridus, who is like the first swordsman of a prince, and the prince seems to think that he is the champion of the light and is kind of undermining his father and wanting to create an empire and take over everyone instead of like co-rule with all these other kings and queens that his father is trying to ally with and his son is trying to conquer. So we are actually following Veridus, who is the first swordsman of that prince. And so we're getting his perspective, and he seems to be kind of the, I don't know, vessel isn't quite the right word, but the vector in which we are viewing that side of the story. We also get a bunch of other points of views. We get like Corbin's sister, we get some villains, we get some seemingly random side characters, but I'm assuming they're going to become very important. And I'm really liking it. I'm just letting the story kind of wash over me because there's so many points of view that I was like, it's a little overwhelming at first, but I was like, I'm just gonna trust John Gwynne because that's kind of what I did with Shadow of the Gods and The Hunger of the Gods, or at least The Shadow of the Gods, because there was so much going on. I was like, how do I can't even keep things straight. But he pulls it off in the end, and I'm thinking that this book specifically is going to be even more so trust the process. And I like that about it. I really think that he knows what he's doing and he's going to be weaving all these threads together, and I'm just along for the ride and I'm having a great time. I'm really enjoying it. Oh, I got a piece. Moral of the story is I trust John Gwynn and I'm actually really enjoying it. And typically this isn't my type of storytelling with so many points of view, but I trust him now. I've read his other series and just absolutely loved it, so I have faith in John Gwynn and I'm just letting the story happen. Progress update on the puzzle. Got the edge. I got this clump of a tree, which is right here. And it's 500 pieces, which I can usually do in a weekend. Look at this frying pan. It's so tiny. It is going to be, I'm making myself one egg. So this little guy is gonna be perfect, but like, how ridiculous is this? It doesn't even fit on a burner. It's too small. I mean, look at it. It's so cute. See, it doesn't even fit. It's too small. I don't know if this looks good to you, but I'm excited for the little egg sandwich. Quick, I forgot to mention, I actually started Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairy, and I'm listening to the audiobook, and not gonna lie, I don't know if I enjoy this narrator. I don't know if it's the combination of the narrator and the writing style, because like Emily Wilde is writing this story down, and so far she's like traveling to this remote Scandinavian town to study fairies because she's writing an encyclopedia about the Fae. Just like the way the narrator is narrating and the way that the writer has written Emily, and like Emily is telling a story, it just feels like Emily is like super uptight and prim and proper, and like we've had some silly situations where she like doesn't know how to start a fire in the fireplace or bank the fire for the night, which is fine, and like, you know, you don't know what you don't know. But I think it's like the narrator and the way the narrator is speaking these lines, it just feels like I don't enjoy Emily as a character, which sucks. I'm like 2 chapters in. I barely started. But I don't know. I'm not loving the audiobook. Maybe I should read this physically, but I have the audiobook. I bought it because it was on sale for like $2.99. Just like first impressions, not my favorite. So update. Getting there. Good afternoon. Finished Malice by John Gwynn. 5 stars. Amazing. Incredible. So good. The reason I think I like this so much is because it has just enough politics and just enough action. It's a little slow paced, but I like slow paced. And the other thing is, this has a perspective where one of the characters is slowly descending into villainy, and you can see the little decisions along the way that lead this character to become a villain, but it almost feels inevitable and almost justified in the decisions that they're making and why they're making them, which makes it incredibly compelling. It's like a slow motion train wreck. It's inevitable, but you can't look away, and I have to applaud John Gwynn for that. Really love this. 5 stars. Can't believe I have to wait. I'm on the library hold for the sequel. This is great. I also completed Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairy. Whoops. And this is a 4 star. I enjoyed my time reading this. I typically am not a Fae romance reader, but since I enjoyed Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater so much, I thought I'd give this one a try since it's kind of comparative. And I agree with the comparison, but this is definitely more plot heavy than romance heavy, I'd say. Maybe that was the thing that was keeping me from a 5-star, was I wish there was more relationship building. Like, Emily is already intrigued by the love interest in this one, and nothing wrong with that, but I just wish there was more on-page development. I liked how the fairies were both whimsical and terrifying and violent. Actually, it was described in a consumable way, but it was still pretty violent. Whoa, that's a big bird. I really liked Heather Fawcett's, the author's, take on fae, because to me it seems, I don't know if realistic is the right word, but just an accurate depiction of like traditional fae in mythology, if that makes sense. But I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I was maybe a little overambitious by trying to read 3 books in this vlog, but you know, the weekend is not over yet. It's only about 12:30, 1 o'clock on a Sunday, so I've got all day. I don't know if I want to rush through One for My Enemy though. Knowing this author's writing, it's going to be prosaic, purpley, and maybe I just want to savor it. But I will definitely give this a start and see how we go. I've had a great reading weekend so far, but I still need to finish my puzzle. So, you know, lots to do. All done. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video of mine very soon.